Hello everyone, welcome to my second daily video vlog. We are on a roll now. I hope you all had a beautiful day. I just wanted to check in and let you guys know what I was up to today. Today I worked on the Dracula piece again. I had hoped that I would have it finished for today, but unfortunately that just didn't happen. I spent a lot of time noodling around with tiny little color variations. I had added color to this piece after doing it completely in black and white via a gradient map. And now I'm going in and adding just tiny color changes within that gradient map to add a little bit more visual interest. I really wanted this piece to be very almost monochromatic, but not quite. And so I thought that it was the perfect tool to use for this one. To be honest, I used to use gradient maps a lot more, and then I had a portfolio review with Magic the Gathering art director at AluxCon, and he looked at my work and he's like, "Oh, you use gradient maps." And I don't know why, because I did use gradient maps. It was correct, and a way to go him for being able to pick it out. But it bothered me. It bothered me that he could tell I used that tool, and that tool is a great tool. It's an amazing tool. It's very powerful. But I didn't want my artwork to look like I used a specific digital tool. So I stopped using it for a long time, but now I'm back and I use it selectively. I don't use it for every piece, but this piece called for a gradient map. So I added a lot of color variation. I cleaned up some stuff. I tightened up certain elements in the piece where I wanted your eye to gravitate towards. I'm trying to remain a little looser in my pieces recently, because before I would zoom in to, 400%, and I would super render every single section of the painting, and it was just a lot. It was a lot on your eyes. It didn't really direct your eye in any particular place. Everywhere was as loud as everywhere else. And I have been trying to train myself to be looser in areas that aren't as important and to be tighter in areas that are, so that your eye has a little bit more flow in the piece and a little bit more direction. But that's very hard to do. Like, some people are just naturally able to do that, and it just seems very against my nature. I want to just tighten everything up. So what I've done to combat that, since using my regular techniques, I'm just incapable of leaving it, I have started using a very textured brush that doesn't really allow a lot of tight detail. And I limit myself to using that brush for 3/4 of the painting. And then at the very end, I allow myself to come in with a cleaner, more precise brush, and I tighten up certain areas. And I have found that I enjoy this a lot more. I feel like the texture adds a little bit more of almost a traditional look to my piece, even though, let's be honest, they still look very digital, but at least it looks a little less clean and smooth and, I don't know, plasticky. Tomorrow, my plan is to finish this up. I want to test out a few additional elements to the piece. I want to come in and see if I can add some bats silhouettes to the background and maybe a wolf silhouette to the background. And I haven't decided if I want to have someone in the carriage, because John is in the carriage, and yeah, that's a main component, is that he's getting taken to the castle. But I don't know. I kind of feel like I like the mysterious air of not being able to see what's in there, but at the same time, let's try it out. What's the worst that happens? We put it on a separate layer, we don't like it, we delete the layer, and we just wasted a little bit of time. I love digital for that. So I'm going to see. No promises. There may or may not be a character in the carriage, but I do anticipate only needing probably 2 hours left on this piece, which sounds like a lot of time to some of you, and to others, it might sound like no time at all. But I have to paint a feather painting tomorrow as well, so I don't have a lot of time to finish up this piece. What happened today? Not a lot. Not a lot happened today. I cleaned a snake tank enclosure. That's like the highlight of my personal day. I did get to play a little bit of World of Warcraft, which was fun. I basically spent the entire session working on my UI. The add-on purge has been implemented, so I had to go in and get rid of a lot of the add-ons that I'm currently running. And that included like going through each add-on and checking to see if it was going to work in Midnight or not, and then figuring out if I needed an alternative or if there was even an alternative available, and figuring out how to get those set up. So it actually took me I think like 2 to 3 hours to completely revamp my UI. And I was very shocked to find out that I actually had like almost 40 add-ons. And to be fair, a lot of those are like really small quality of life add-ons that, didn't do a ton. And some of them I didn't even use at all. So it was nice to go through and get rid of all of those. And to be honest with you, I think I like my UI a lot better now, and I'm thankful that they did this add-on purge, because otherwise I would be lazy and I wouldn't go through and see what's new in all of these add-ons and reorganize all of my buttons and make my UI beautiful again. And it's been many expansions that I have just done the lazy thing and haven't touched it. Anyway, I think that's it. I hope that you had a beautiful day. A big thank you for those of you that watched last video or this video, and a special thank you for those of you that commented on my last video. It helps a ton and it really motivates me to continue making them. So thank you guys. I hope that you're having a beautiful, productive day today, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye.